trace, trace, trace. Let's talk about the word trace. As a part of speech, trace can be both a verb and a noun. When used as a verb, it means to leave behind a mark or sign of something. Like the detective was able to trace the suspect's footprints. In this sense, it also implies following a path or finding something. On the other hand, when used as a noun, trace refers to a small amount or a faint impression, such as there is only a trace of sugar left in the cup. For example, you might say, the weather forecast says there will be a trace of rain tonight. Additionally, it's worth noting that trace can also have a negative connotation when used with certain words, like trace amounts of poison or trace evidence. So it's essential to consider the context in which it is being used. The concept of trace is used to describe the act of leaving behind a mark, evidence, or memory of something. In formal settings such as scientific research, a professor might say, careful analysis of the data revealed a faint chemical trace left by the new compound, providing crucial insight into its decomposition process. This sentence demonstrates formal usage. In an academic context, where precision and objectivity are key. In casual conversations, someone might remark, I love tracing old family recipes, trying to identify the original flavors my great-grandmother used. Every little trace of her cooking style is a piece of history. This example showcases how the word trace can be used in everyday talk to convey a sense of nostalgia and personal connection. The tone is relaxed, and the focus is on sharing experiences rather than conveying complex information. In business or professional settings, a project manager might say, we need to carefully trace all communication with potential investors. Documenting every email, phone call, and meeting, it's essential to have a clear paper trail for due diligence. This sentence highlights how trace can be used in practical contexts to emphasize the importance of record keeping, accountability, and transparency. So, when we talk about leaving behind something that shows where you've been or what happened, we're often referring to a way of marking or indicating movement, action, or presence in some way. Think of it like a path that's left behind, almost like a map of your journey. This concept is useful for showing how someone got from one place to another. And it can be used in all sorts of ways, for example, in archaeology to figure out where ancient people came from or went to, or even in science to understand the movement of animals or plants. It's similar to a map or a plan, but instead of being created beforehand, it's something that's naturally left behind as things happen. Transform. 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 Let's talk about the verb transform. The part of speech is a crucial thing to know when learning new words in any language, and in this case, transform is a verb. As a verb, it means to change something completely into its opposite, or to convert one form into another. Common usage of transform would be in situations where you're talking about making a significant change to something or someone, like when an artist transforms their idea into a beautiful painting, or when a person transforms themselves through hard work and determination. One special note I'd like to make is that the word transform can also have a bit of a magical feel to it, implying that not just any ordinary change has occurred, but something truly remarkable and profound has taken place. In a formal setting, such as a university lecture, you might say, the revolutionary new technology has the power to transform the way we understand and interact with complex systems. leading to breakthroughs in fields like medicine and environmental science. Here, the word transform is used to convey a significant and profound impact on a field of study or industry. In contrast, in a casual conversation with a friend who's just started learning to play the guitar, you might say, "I've been practicing for weeks and I can already see myself transform from a beginner to a decent player. It's amazing how quickly you pick up new skills." In this case, the word transform is used to describe a personal change or improvement that happens over time. Finally, in a business context, such as a conference presentation on digital marketing, you might say, "Our company has successfully transformed its brand image through targeted social media campaigns and influencer partnerships, resulting in a significant increase in customer engagement." So you're trying to learn about this idea of transform. Let me break it down for you in simple terms. When something is transformed, it changes from one form into another, often becoming something entirely new. It's like taking a puzzle and rearranging all the pieces so that they fit together in a completely different way. This process can happen to people too. Someone might grow up speaking one language, but then they learn another and suddenly their whole worldview shifts. So, transformed things are not just changed a little bit, but actually become something fresh and often unexpected. Transport. 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 Let's talk about the word transport. As a verb, transport can mean to move people or things from one place to another, often using a vehicle or other means of transportation. In common usage, you might say something like, "The bus will transport us to the airport for our flight." It can also imply moving something in a way that's not just physical, but also emotional, like when someone says, "Reading that book transported me to another time and place." As an adjective, transport is often used to describe something that's exciting or thrilling, especially in relation to travel. Think of a transporting experience as one you'll never forget. One special note about using this word is that it can have different connotations depending on the context. For example, if you're talking about moving people from one place to another without their consent, like prisoners or slaves, then transport takes on a much darker meaning. I'd be happy to help you with examples of how to use the word transport in different contexts. So, let's say we're planning a trip to Tokyo and we need to arrange for our luggage to be taken from the airport to our hotel. That would be a great example of formal usage. Like this, "We have arranged for a reputable company to transport our bags from Narita Airport to our hotel, ensuring their safe arrival." In a casual conversation with friends about daily commutes, you might say something like, "I'm so sick of driving to work every day. I wish there was an easier way to transport myself. Maybe one of those new electric scooters would be the ticket." And in a business or academic context, such as writing a report on transportation infrastructure, you might use the word transport in a sentence like, "The proposed expansion of the highway system will significantly improve the efficiency and capacity for public transport, reducing congestion and travel times." So, you want to know what transport means? Well, let me tell you, it's a really useful concept. Essentially, transport is about getting people or things from one place to another. It can be by road, like in a car or bus, or by water, like on a boat or ship. You can even think of flying machines, like airplanes. The main characteristic of transport is that it helps us move around quickly and easily, often over long distances. In many ways, it's similar to the idea of movement or journey. but with a focus on getting people or things safely from one point to another. Transport is used all the time in our daily lives. Think about how you got here today. It's an essential part of modern life, and I'm sure you use it yourself, even if you don't realize it.